Hey, hey, it's your local Midfay and Forest Guardian, and today for entry number 1, we are talking about introductions and why they are a pain for some of us. I decided on this one for the first episode because it was a big reason why starting this podcast took so long. Way too long, truly. Truly. Y'all don't even know. Well, the very big important question, what should the very first episode be about? Many ideas were had. Many. I might have been a little indecisive there. They ranged from a few different games, exercise, specific mental health topics, books, combinations. You get the idea. I like a lot of things and I want to talk about a lot of things. I finally, at long last, settled on introductions when I was trying to write one for this podcast and got more than a little stuck, and then it hit to just talk about introductions in general. It seems like, it just seems like a win-win, honestly. I was in bed, having an early morning waiting for me, tired, and as it goes, the thought hit and stuck. Because let me tell you, being exhausted sometimes is when the creative things hit, and that is a blessing and a curse. That is the creator's double-edged sword, let me tell you. The pain is real, y'all. I think some of you know already what this is like. Also, respect to the kitchen for being another great place for ideas to hit. Honestly, for some reason, I get some of my best writing ideas when I'm in the kitchen, and I have no idea why. Don't even ask me to explain. I could not even tell you, but the kitchen is it. All right, now, back to it. First impressions are important since a lot of people will not give you a chance for a second one. But in this Faye's opinion, an episode simply running down the basics and what to expect did not cut it. I am certain most of you have dealt with similar situations yourselves. With questions like, how do I start this? What do I say? Did I say too much or not enough? It goes on and on and on and on. This can bring on a strong, nerve-wracking, and draining anxiety experience and leaves oneself more prepared to take a sweet long nap than continue making any further progress. Add in the self-doubt and what-ifs, you have a hot mess in your head and it's committing arson on you. And you do not have a fire extinguisher, y'all. You're doomed. There's not even enough aloe vera to help there. It is something that can happen in multiple situations. An introductory video. Wink. Tweet, post, stream, interviews, first dates, first meetings, and, like I said, first podcast episodes. In this phase experience, both online and off, something simple and not over the top does it best. And stop right there, because before you ask the obvious question, even knowing does not always stop the anxiety and self-doubt and questioning. It eats at you in nightmarish ways and can make things delayed. We speak from experience. Lifelong experience. An example. This podcast was created quite a bit back. And only now am I able to get started properly. Like I'm recording the audio right now, as this should be obvious. Got my background, going to be doing the editing, getting this off the ground. Like, oh boy. That does also hang over my head, but I am not hiding it. No, there's, like y'all know. You know, and you know what? Respect. Respect for the respect. Knowing and doing take hits when that stress is involved. This situations and others, like I listed earlier for examples, are nothing to be ashamed of. The negative and doubtful replies are ones I can hear already because I have been there, my dear buds. Believe me, y'all, this Faye has been there. Many times. Not being ashamed of having that difficult time applies to you too. You want to make it count and are trying. That is something to be proud of as it shows thoughtfulness and determination at the very least. Determination itself comes in more forms than what you see in media, like in anime and video games where the heroes make it through hardships to take down the villain. This is something that will be covered in another episode. Like there's some things there I'm looking forward to actually tackling. I have been watching stuff, y'all. I've been watching stuff. For a quick moment to clear potential confuzzlement, buds are what I call my community. The Say is very proud of them and cheering them on day to day too. Remember, buds, this Fae loves ya. Ah. Dearest buds and listeners struggling right now, a small advice from this Fae to you after some rather hard learning and reminders. Simple shows and says a lot. You can say important things in a few words and try not to overshare. Fellow ADHD haver, stand up in solitude for this. I am standing right now. Getting to the point, being interested in what is going down then and there. Life stories can wait until later, depending on the spot you are in, much later. Sadly, not everyone will be as eager to hear about your furry family as everyone else. Their loss. Personally, I am prepared to overshare about Dog Duke's early life and current stories in most situations, and that's at the minimum. The amount of useless trivia I know is impressive on its own. To me, I have seen so many sitcoms, and I practically live on the TV tropes page. This is not an exaggeration for comedic effect. Of course, tossing in a little humor if it fits your style works just fine. Just don't do the whole stand-up set. I think you get me on this one. Write out some questions and practice answering them. Get someone else to ask you those questions if possible, and have them tell you if your answer was too long or not informative to the question. It's an easy mistake to make, and nerves have no on-off switch. This goes for any situation, y'all. Just about everyone mucks up at one point or another. Learn from it if it does happen. Add it to your stand-up set to share later on. First impressions will work on anyone's nerves. Sometimes there are failures before success, but the important thing is that you got through them to see the success. Remember, hold your head high, look ahead, and know this Fae is proud of you. Call it generic if you like, but it's true. Share your own tales about this in the comments. At me on the Twitter. I am not calling it the other name. It is going to stay Twitter to me. I do not care. Look, from this Fae, you can expect discussions on games, books, anime, other media, and mental health, and more. There will be reminders in certain episodes that while I am a certified caregiver in real life, which is 100% true, I am not a certified or licensed mental health worker. I will be giving a space that is safe to talk about it and offer what advice I can based on real life experiences and encourage seeking proper support with people equipped to handle your own troubles. It is not a bad thing now. Any kind of health problem, you want to see the right person for it to get the best healing for yourself, and that is important. Remember, your health matters. You got it? I am not, I am not lying. I am speaking truths. I think that about does it for this introductory episode to the Fae Day podcast. May the coming sunrise find you with kindness, the sunset with peaceful rest, and remember, this Fae loves ya. Ah.